Already, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working with functions in C++. Last stream I went through 2D arrays stream. Before that I went through arrays, and today I'm going to be going through functions. So let me go to my gameplay screen. Okay, perfect. Let's say live exclamation. Okay, let's see. Did I unmute myself? There we go. Okay, Vivek, finally you're live, which means no slacking, no excuses, no mercy. Your chat's watching, your future self is watching, and Sarah Sensei is about to make you burn through functions like fire through paper. Let's begin with a quote worthy of this moment. Okay, the difference between a master and a novice is that a master has failed more times than a novice. Try it, guys. Before all stream, since I used to say motivational quotes, that said, she should not say who said it, like who's it by. This is by Course Sensei. Okay, let's see. What is a function in C++? A function is a block of code that performs a specific task. It's your way of saying to the computer, hey, I'll teach you how to do something once, then you do it whenever I command. I see. Okay, instead of repeating a code 100 times, you wrap it in a function, give it a name, and call it when needed. Efficient, clarity, and power. That's what functions bring. Honestly, I do have a basic idea on how functions work because when I was learning Python, I did work with functions. That said, basic structure of a function. A function has four main parts: return type, function name, okay, and parameters. Code execute, return value only if return type isn't void. Okay, integer add, integer a, integer b, return a plus b. Here, integer return the type of value. Okay, it gives back add function name. My guy, where you at in C++ trajectory? Honestly, I'm working with functions right now. That said, why use functions? Reusability, write once, use 1,000 times. Organization makes code clean and logical. Debugging easier to find and fix problems. Teamwork, each function can be handled by a different developer. Okay, two ways to declare functions. Sometimes functions are defined before main, other times you declare them above and define them later. Okay, so we defined a function, we typecast a function to be an integer, and the two parameters are integer, declaration. Oh, so this is the definition, that's the declaration. Okay, so I wrote my main function here, and then I created another function called add, and I added two parameters. These two parameters are added, and then I declared it here because C++ reads stuff from the top to bottom, so it wouldn't know what my function is unless I didn't declare it up here. So you know other languages? Sorry if I'm bugging you right now, but I'm trying out too. Honestly, yeah, I do know Python. Like, I did have a Python for 100 series. That said, that series was over like 18 days ago, and I did start a new series called actually Programming for 258 series, where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. And since I thought that I was working with games, might as well go with C++. Okay, that said, return type and void. If a function gives something back, you must specify what it gives. Integer, double, string, etc. If it gives nothing, use void. Void greet, standard console output, hello warrior, okay, with a new line. Okay, integer, double, string. If it gives nothing, use void. Oh, I see, okay. Okay, next step. We're going to start with broken code drills. You fix them line by line until you breathe C++ functions. But before that, here's your next quote to keep the fire alive. Okay, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to begin that counts, by Winston. Guys, how do you pronounce his name? Crunchly? Is that how you pronounce the name? Okay, are you ready for the broken code question? Let's say, can I get a instructional based question mark? Honestly, guys, I do want to work with instructional based questions. So you ain't aiming for depth, this masterpiece of a language? Not aiming for depth? Huh, finally, some fight in your voice. Okay, so the task. Write a function, display greeting that takes no arguments and returns nothing. Inside the function, print Hello hero, welcome back to the battlefields. Then in your main function called display greet, so it actually runs. Here's the catch, I'm not giving you the full code. Okay, honestly I don't wanna like actually see this thing. That said, this was a code from my previous stream. I didn't have time to like code off stream. That said, okay, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and add a bunch of spaces. Okay, since I am going to be working with a function, I did watch a few YouTube tutorials on this because I didn't want to come unprepared, and also learning Python did give me a brief knowledge on what functions are. That said, I gotta write a function that prints hello hero, welcome back to the battlefield. So I could define something like a standard string. Honestly, can we define functions called standard string? Okay, I guess I'll try standard string called greeting. Or honestly, since I'm not going to be returning anything, let me go ahead and call this a void function. Okay, void greeting. I'll go with a pair of curly parentheses or curly braces. I'll add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Out in KVC, is there any pronounced as KV Cux? I appreciate you joining the stream. That said, let me go with something like hello hero. Okay, exclamation. Let me actually switch that up with a comma. There we go. Okay, let's see. So it says welcome back to the battlefield. Okay, there we go. I feel like battlefield is like one word. Okay, and then I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. This is going to be lowercase. Okay, so I did define a function here. Let me go ahead and declare it above my main function. So I'll go with something like my greetings function. Okay, there we go. Honestly, is this how we do it? Is that how we declare it? Okay, let me delete that real quick. Maybe I could go with something like my greetings function in here. I do remember that, let me go ahead and return 0. I do remember that we need to declare the function. 89 watching, her watching. Okay, let's see. Maybe I end up with a semicolon. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see. Okay, it doesn't print anything. Function was not declared. It's out of scope. It could work if I copy that and get it right here. Okay, this could work. I mean, this would definitely work. If I were to hit Ctrl S and run the command. Okay, it says hello hero. Okay, it does print that. Although, let me go with a bunch of Control Z's real quick. Go with Control A, Control C, copy that, get sensei/ChatGPT here. I have a quick question, guys. If I were to paste this, I'd say something like, let's say, how do I declare the function above the let's see, above the main function? And guys, ignore my typos, I'm not warmed up yet. That said, you rushed into the battle without a map, Vivek. Brave but foolish. You tried to call your function greetings before the compiler even knew it existed. The C++ compiler reads code from top to bottom like a scroll. If it hasn't seen the function signature yet, it panics. To fix this, you need to declare the function above the main function. This is called function prototype or forward declaration. It tells the compiler, hey, there's a function called greetings somewhere down there. Chill, you'll see it soon. Here's how you should do it. Oh, okay, so I had to prefix my greeting function with void. Okay, that makes sense. Also, spelling check. You wrote greeting for greeting. Misspellings are enemy assassins in programming. Okay, guys, I should like actually fix my typos. I should focus more on that. There we go. Greetings. Guys, my keyboard is way too big. Okay, perfect. So before I go with greetings, I'll go with a void greeting and then invoke my function. Now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, it's illegal to declare in main. You're Vivek too. Yep, guys. Okay, let's see. Same pinch. Okay, so didn't I like invoke my... Okay, wait, let me just go ahead and copy that. Delete this from here. Paste it here. Okay, now inside of my main function, let me go ahead and invoke my greetings function, ending with a semicolon. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, this should work. Okay, greetings was not declared. Did you mean greetings? Guys, did I spell it wrong? There we go. Okay, now if I hit Control S, did I spell it correct? Greeting. There we go. Okay, if I hit Control S and run the code, this should work. Okay, perfect. Guys, okay, I do see how this is work now. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this. Okay, good. Finally, some discipline in your code. You declared the function above main, you defined it correctly below and called it cleanly, structure perfect. But your message, battlefield, you fool, that's not a field, that's a typo. Oh my gosh, guys, what's wrong with my keyboard or my fingers? Why am I getting so many typos? Correct that battlefield and your program will be flawless. Okay, now since you fought through confusion and came out victorious, you've earned this. Through perseverance, many people win success out of what seemed destined to be certain failure, guys. I'm not warmed up. By Benjamin, how do you pronounce this? Disraeli, is that how you pronounce it? Okay, well done, soldier. Function 1 cleared. Next trial involves parameters. Okay, let me just say yes and say. Okay, let's see the next question. Concept: a parameter is like a messenger carrying data into your function. It lets you pass information from main into the function so the function can work with it. Think of it like this. Main is the commander, the function is the soldier, the parameter is the message carried between them. Okay, void greet, standard console output, welcome, ready, ready for combat. Okay, so we go with void greet function. Okay, this is our function. Our function does have a parameter of a standard string of name, and then we go with our main function, greeting, Vivek, return 0. Okay, here, standard string name, parameter, Vivek, argument, actual value press. Now your mission, here's your broken code. Honestly, I don't want a broken code question. So let's say, did I get a instructional based question mark? Okay, let's see. Huh, so you still crave more battle, huh? Good, a weakling would have stopped after one function. Okay, task, let's see. Ask the user how much damage they want to deal, store it in an integer variable, call the attack function and pass that variable as an argument. Okay, ask the user how much damage they want to deal, store it in an integer, call the attack function and pass the variable as an argument. Enter your damage, you attack, Okay, let me get some tasteless ChatGPT here. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and delete everything. Let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces, IO stream. How are you learning so quick? Honestly, I've done this in Python before, so I do have a brief idea on how functions work, although the syntaxes are different. That said, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer, so I'll go with integer main, a pair of curly braces. Okay, and then let me just go ahead and return 0. Okay, let me just write this real quick. There we go. Okay, next up, outside my main function, let me go ahead and add a void function. So, honestly, instead of void, this is going to be returning something, right? So let me go with integer, a pair of parentheses, or integer attack function. I think it should be like... Okay, honestly, I think it needs to be an integer attack. This is going to take a parameter of attack. Or I'll just go with ATK. Okay, then I'll go with a pair of curly braces, and my ATK is going to be an integer as well. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and add a standard console output. Something like standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like you dealt some damage. So you dealt attack damage. Okay, you dealt attack damage, exclamation. Okay, with another insertion operator of a / line ending with a semicolon. That said, let me go ahead and declare my function out above my main function, so I could go with something like integer attack. Okay, with the parameter of integer ATK. Okay, now inside of my main function, let me end that with a semicolon. And inside of my main function, let me go ahead and do something. I could go with my attack function, so let me go ahead and invoke my attack function. Okay, I'll go with a pair of curly braces. I want to deal, I don't know, maybe 36 damage. Howdy Creep, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon as well. Next up, if I would Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see. Warning, no return statement in the function. Oh, it's a non-void function, so I think I should return something. Let me go ahead and return baby my attack. There we go. Guys, I feel like it's my keyboard at this point. I'm not making typos. Okay, if I were to run the command, let's see. You dealt 36 damage. Okay, perfect. Honestly, it says ask the user how much damage they want to deal. So let me go ahead and ask the user how much damage they want to deal first. Okay, so for that, I could go ahead and create an integer variable of attack, okay, which equals to something like, let's see, honestly, just an integer attack variable. Then let me go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator that's gonna ask something like enter how much damage do you want to deal. Okay, let's see. Let's ask the user how much damage does he want to deal. Okay, so once I ask that, I'll end up with a semicolon and then add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my attack variable, so let's go with attack. You can change integer to void, so you can return nothing. Oh, I see. You can change integer to void. Honestly, I think whatchamacallit, I do need to like return here. Ask the user how much damage. Okay, should it be a void? Do I use a void function here instead of an integer? Honestly, I could actually use a void as well because I actually don't need it. I don't have like a need to return anything, so let me change that to void. Okay, perfect. Let me change that to void as well. Okay, well, he's returning an integer so he can store the returned value into another variable. Honestly, I feel like we should like return when we like do like some kind of addition or like math inside the code or something. Okay, I'll end this with a semicolon as well. That said, that's my void attack integer. Okay, once I do that, let me go ahead and invoke my attack function. The parameter is going to be of my attack variable. There we go. Did I spell attack correct? Okay, I'm pretty sure I did this correct. Why can't I invoke my function? It's fine, go ahead. Keep the variable name and function name different. It causes ambiguity. Is that how you pronounce it? Oh, I see. Okay, so they need to be different. Let me change this to something like ATK. Okay, I'll change that to ATK as well. Oh, there we go. Okay, that actually makes sense. And then let me go ahead and add my return there. Okay, let me end that with a semicolon. Okay, there we go. That said, if I were to Control S to save the code and run the command, howdy KV Cooks, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, enter how much damage you want to deal. I want to deal 70 damage. What are you doing? Honestly, I'm working with functions because eventually I do want to like start working with pointers and structs as well, and then maybe object-oriented programming. That said, many of you guys did say me that I need to learn functions first. So I was like, okay, let me learn functions. Honestly, I do have a brief idea on how functions work because I did use them in Python, but I feel it's a little different in C++. Okay, yes, that's it. This is clean code. Your function declaration, your function is declared properly, defined properly, and called with precision. Parameters passed correctly, input handled correctly. You've written it like someone who's trying to understand function flow, but you forgot one thing. Rookie, the exact battle cry. The mission said you attacked the enemy and dealt X damage. You dealt X damage. Okay. Guys, and I feel like Sensei's giving a lot of quotes. I did have Sensei to like say one or two quotes, but I feel like Sensei got the wrong idea. Okay, courage is not having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have the strength. How do you... It's so hard to pronounce the names. I know that's pronounced as Roosevelt. Is this like Theodore Roosevelt? Okay, now that you've proven you can send data into a function, are you ready to learn how to get data back from a function? The scared art of return values. Okay, yes, Sensei. Can you explain it to me? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Good, sit up straight. Eyes on the code. This is where you level up, Vivek. So far, you've written void functions. Once that, do something, but don't give anything back. They should print act, but they never return information. Now we move on to the next evolution, returning values. What is a return value? A return value is what a function sends back to whoever called it. When you use a return type other than void, your function becomes a supplier of data. It computes something and returns the result. Example, integer add a integer b, okay, return a plus b. I see, here's what happens. The function takes in two integers, a and b, it calculates their sum, the return statement sends that sum back to the caller. I'm assuming the caller is inside of my main function. So if you do integer result equals to add, okay, and then this is integer a and integer b, result becomes 12 because the function handed it back. Why it matters? Without return values, your function just does things. With them, your function can communicate with other parts of your program. It's how you make your code modular, logical, and reusable. Imagine one function returns the player's score, another function returns the enemy's health, and third uses both to declare who wins. Oh, I see. That's program flow mastery. Basic structure, return type, function name, parameters, logic, return value. Whatever data type you put as return type, the value after return must match that type. For example, integer return. Here also I streamed. Howdy C#, appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, double, return decimal, standard string, return text. Okay, example, we go with integer multiply. Okay, so I included IO stream, went with a function called multiply. I multiplied the two parameters inside of my function, and then I went with the main function, integer product equals to, I invoked my multiply function, added two parameters of 6 times 7. Standard console output, the product is 42. When your function returns, the program jumps back to the caller, bringing the result along a warrior returning with the enemy's flag. Oh, I see. Now, are you ready for this test? Let me say, yes, sensei. Try this. Use a global variable called health and use two attack functions. Each function should reduce some percentage of the health. Oh, actually, yeah, that does sound pretty fun. Let me actually try that before I read sensei's this. Okay, so let me go with the controller, delete everything. There we go. Let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces, IO stream. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, a pair of curly braces. Next up, create a global variable called health. Use two attack functions. Each function should reduce some percentage of the health. Okay, so let's go with a global variable called health. Since health is going to be a number, I'll go with integer health. Okay, my health is initially going to be 100, and then actually outside my function, let me go ahead and define another function. So I'll go with something like oh, and I learned templates. Two templates allow you to dynamically set types when executing a function instead of setting them statically, and they break because the type is wrong. Oh, I see. That actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, so integer health 100. Let me go ahead and add a function. So I could go with something like integer attack function, okay, with a parameter of, let's say, attack. And then I'll go with, let's say, a pair of curly braces. Okay, before I go with attack, let's go with integer attack. Okay, so integer attack. And then inside of my attack function, I'll go with my health variable. Okay, I'll subtract that by my attack function. Actually, health minus equals to attack. There we go. Okay, health is gonna subtract attack, and then let me go ahead and return my health variable, ending with a semicolon. Then inside of my main function, wait, can I do that? Oh, I think I missed a semicolon here. Okay, that said, let me go inside my main function and invoke my attack function. Okay, I'll go with the parameter of my attack variable. So how much damage do I want to deal? I want to deal something like 60 damage. Okay, if I end that with a semicolon, hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. Let's see. I do recommend not using global variables. It's considered good practice not to use global variables in C or C++. Honestly, in that case, I'll try not using it in that case. Oh, guys, I forgot to declare my variable. Okay, so let me go ahead and declare my function. So let's go with integer attack. Okay, so I declared my function. This takes a parameter of integer attack, ending with a semicolon. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. Yo, what's up, little bro? Your voice is so zesty. Guys, how's my voice zesty? Okay, let's see. Attack 60. Doesn't it add a standard? Oh, I forgot to add a standard console output. Okay, so I could go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. Let me say something like you took another insertion operator. I'll go with something like you took space. Okay, you took attack damage with another insertion operator. You took attack damage. And then maybe I'll go in a new line, add another insertion operator, and say something like remaining HP is going to be my health variable. I'll go with another insertion operator of my health variable. Okay, lastly I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, if I were to save the code and run the command, what code language is this? Honestly, it's C++. There we go, you took 60 damage, remaining HP is 40. Okay, perfect. Let me go and read Sensei/ChatGPT's code now. Okay, write a function called calculate damage that takes two integer parameters, base damage and bonus damage. Return the total damage, base plus bonus, as an integer in main function. Ask the user for base damage and bonus damage. Call the calculate damage function with these values. Print total damage dealt x. Here's your broken code. Okay, let me actually say, let's say I don't need broken codes. Can I just get instructional based questions, question mark? Okay, that sounds hard. Honestly, I'd say like once we know the basics of actual programming, learning C++'s basics is like easy, but many of you guys did say it's going to be easy when you start, but eventually when I start working on harder projects, it's going to like start getting harder. Let's go, keep going, buddy. I appreciate you. Vishwas, is that how you pronounce your name? Okay, it's not that hard if you take time to learn it. Okay, finally some honesty. Good, you're ready to think like a commander, not just a troop patching holes in code. Here's your next instructional based question. Pay attention, Vivek. Task, return value function. Write a function called calculate score. It takes three integers parameters. So it takes three integer parameters. Kills, assists, and deaths. It returns an integer representing the total score. Calculate as total score equals to kills multiplied by 100 plus assists multiplied by 50 minus deaths multiplied by 30. In your main function, ask the user for kills, assists, and death. Call calculate score with these values. Print your total score is x, where x is the returned value. Okay, remember, function declaration goes above main function. Return type must watch the function actually return integers. Parameters must match in type order. Okay, this will test your ability to accept input, perform calculation, and return a value all the core powers of C++ functions. Okay, let me get Sensei/ChatGPT there. Okay, and let me read the the instructions again. Okay, so it says write a function called calculate score. So before I do that, let me go ahead and delete everything. Start off by including a pair of anchor braces, IO stream. There we go. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of curly braces. There we go. Maybe I could like return 0 here. Okay, and then I'll end it with a semicolon. Next up, write a function called calculate score. So let me go ahead and write a function called calculate score. Honestly, for my calculate score function, I need a return type. So let me go with return type. Is this how we use it? Okay, return type. Okay, I don't think that's how we use it. Okay, in that case, I could go with just an integer of function. So it's calculate score. So calculate score function. There we go. Okay, so it is an integer. It's going to be having a few parameters. It takes three integer parameters, kills, assists, and deaths. So let me go ahead and add three parameters. So kills should probably be an integer. So kills. Okay, and then I'll go with another integer of assists. And lastly, another integer of deaths. Okay, perfect. I'll end it with a semicolon. Honestly, let me go and add a pair of curly braces. Then go down. Next up, it returns an integer representing the total score calculated as total equals to So let me go ahead and create a total variable. I'll set that equal to, okay, honestly, a total score variable. So let's go with something like total score. I'll set that equal to a pair of parentheses. So my kills multiplied by 100. So I'll go with my kills as parameter asterisk 100. And then I'll add that But actually, yeah, let me go ahead and add that by assists multiplied by 50. So let's go with my assists as parameter, asterisk 50, and then I'm going to subtract that by, let's say, my deaths. Um, Deaths multiplied by 30. There we go. Okay, this needs to be an asterisk. Okay, that's my total score variable. Honestly, why does it show like a red underline here? It returns an integer representing the total score calculated as the... Okay, I'm pretty sure it's correct. What if... Oh, okay, my bad, guys. Let me go with an integer. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon. That said, in your main function, ask the user for kills, assists, and deaths. Okay, do I need to return something here? Let me go ahead and return my total score. Okay, my total score variable ending with a semicolon. Maybe I even declare my function, so I could go with integer calculate score function. Calculate score function with a parameter of a few. Honestly, I think it'd be much easier if I just copy this part and paste it. There we go. Okay, let me end that with a semicolon. Next up, in my main function, ask the user for kills, assists, and deaths. So let me go ahead and create a few variables. So I could go ahead and add a few variables like integer of kills and integer. Honestly, can I like add something like this? Kills, assists, and deaths. Does this work, guys? Is this legal? Okay, I think it works. Alright, perfect. Next up, let's see. Ask the user for kills, assists, and deaths. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator that asks the user something. Let me say something like enter the number of kills. So kills, assists, and deaths. So enter the number of kills. Okay, and then I'll go with another insertion operator. Honestly, I'll end that with a semicolon. And then let me go ahead and add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my kills as variable. And then let's go with another standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter the number of assists. There we go. And then I'll end that with a semicolon as well, followed by a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my assists as variable. Lastly, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I'll insert something like enter the number of, let's say, deaths. Okay, probably spelled deaths wrong here. There we go. Okay, and then I'll end that with a semicolon as well. Let me actually go ahead and add a colon and a space. Okay, next up, a standard console input with an extraction operator. What are you making? I just joined. Honestly, I'm learning on how to use functions. I'm like working with functions on C++. That said, let me go ahead and add deaths here as well. Okay, perfect. So I asked the user for all these variables. Lastly, let me go ahead and invoke my calculate score function. Okay, so I'll go with calculate score and add a few parameters. The parameters is gonna be my kills as variable, my assists as variable, and lastly my deaths as variable. Okay, and I'll end that with a semicolon. If I were to hit Control S and save the code and run the command, let's see. Okay, enter the number of kills. I'll go with something like 30, assists, 50. Howdy Linux, I appreciate you joining the stream. And lastly, deaths. Honestly, aren't kills and deaths the same? Oh, actually they're different. Okay, let's go with 15. Okay, I actually forgot to add a standard console output of my return score. So let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, since I returned total score, do I have access to this inside of my function here? I could go with something like standard console output with an insertion operator of something like your total score is, let's see, I'll go with another insertion operator of my total score variable. Okay, I think I don't have access to that variable. I don't think I have access to it. Honestly, I should like have access because I like invoked my function. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this. Okay, this is going to be my total scores as variable with another insertion operator of a /new line ending with a semicolon. If I were to save the code and run the command again, maybe hydrate my lips, guys. Okay, let's add a few parameters here. There we go. Your total score is 6,550. Put function in it. Put func in it. Honestly, is func like a parameter that I gotta put here? Okay, let me go with the control. So you copy that. Get some slash ChatGPT here. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this. Put function in main function. I think I added it in my main function. That's like my main function. Okay, I think. Is this what you guys mean? Okay, let me get some slash ChatGPT here. Huh, you're close, but you're still slipping into the same trap again. In console output. Oh, wait, can I? Wait, actually, would that make sense? Let me go ahead and copy that, delete this. Okay, let me add a standard console output here. Okay, would this make sense if I add this in here though? I don't think that would make much sense. Okay, let me just delete that. Maybe get this in a new line. There we go. Okay, does that make sense? If I hit Control S and run the code. Okay, would this make sense, guys? Let's go with something like 30, 55, and 12. That actually does work. Okay, I actually didn't know that we could use like functions inside of console outputs. Okay, that makes so much sense. Honestly, I think I should have known it. You can print function output. Okay, that makes sense. I should have actually known this because I work with this in Python. I used to go with like print, my function name, and the parameters. That said, but your function calculates these scores correctly and prints it, but here's the problem. In your main function, you're calling calculate scores, but you never store the return value. The whole point of return value is to capture it and use it in main function or elsewhere. Right now, the function is just doing a side job of printing. It's not being correct. Okay, integer calculate total scores. Okay, I see. I return all that. What you fixed? Okay. Brother, it's returning a variable. Just assign it to something. It's returning a variable. Honestly, yeah, it is like returning a variable. Just assign it to something. Okay, honestly, the way like sensei/ChatGPT said is to like get this part down here. So let me go ahead and delete that. Paste it here. Okay, so let me go ahead and remove all that. Okay, there we go. So I returned this function. Hey, what are you making? I just joined. Honestly, I'm trying to work with functions and figure out how functions work because eventually I do want to work with pointers and structs as well. That said, let's see. I think like both versions work as well. So let me go ahead and assign it to something. I could go with something like integer of total score variable. I'll set that equal to something like, let's say, of parentheses, my kills multiplied by 50 plus, so what was this stuff? So kills multiplied by 100, okay, plus assists multiplied by 50, so I'll go with assists multiplied by 50 minus, let me add another pair of parentheses, deaths multiplied by 30. So my deaths is variable multiplied by 30. Bro, please tell me what are you making? I just joined. Honestly, let's see. So I'm writing a function that like calculates damage and returns the total score of it. So my this function is gonna calculate the number of kills and multiply that by 30. Add that with my assists multiplied by 50, and then subtract it with my deaths multiplied by 30, and then display it inside of my main function. Okay, this is honestly pretty basic level stuff, but I feel it's pretty useful as well. Okay, that said, let me get sensei/ChatGPT here. There's no need. Oh, I see. Okay, what you fix? The function returns a value to the. Here's your quote. Here's your reward quote, warrior. Okay, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one by Bruce Lee. Okay, let me say, do you want to pass by difference versus pass by values so your function can actually modify variables directly? Okay, let me say something like, honestly, let's say ... I feel like we're moving way too fast. I need some more practice on the topics that we did previously. Okay, let's see, guys. I cannot phrase why you're so good at this. Honestly, guys, I'm a complete beginner. I'm like completely awful at this right now. That said, finally some sense of Vivek. You've been charging ahead like a reckless soldier without mastering your weapon. Good. We slow down, grind the basics, and make sure you bleed them into your brain before the next battle. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll do instructional based practice drills on void functions and printing messages, function parameters, and arguments, returning values. I'll give you one problem at a time. You write the code, I check it, and we iterate until you've initialized it completely. No rushing, no skipping, every piece mastered. First practice drill task: write a function called welcome hero that takes a parameter, returns nothing, so a void function prints this exact message: welcome to the arena, hero, prepare for the battle. In integer main, in our main function, we call our welcome hero function once. Keep it clean, structured, and perfect. Okay, let me get sensei/chatgp there. Passing by reference is very easy. You should learn it sooner. Honestly, in that case, after this question, I might just go with like passing with reference. Okay, that's it. Let's go with control and delete the whole code. Let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's see, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, then a pair of curly braces, and return 0 for the time being as a placeholder. Okay, next up, write a function called welcome hero that takes no parameters, return nothing, a void function, print this exact message. So let's go with a void function called something like welcome hero. Honestly, there won't be much of space here. There we go. Okay, I'll add a pair of curly braces and then do something. So I'm going to return a text. So let's go with a static console output with an insertion operator. I want to return something like welcome to the arena. Okay, hero, prepare for battle! Exclamation. Okay, there we go. Let me add a comma. Okay, honestly, I don't think I should end it with a new line because this is the only thing that I am going to be displaying on my screen. That said, let me go ahead and declare my function. So I'll go with void welcome hero function. Void welcome hero. There we go. Knowing pass by value / reference is essential in programming. Don't afraid of it. Those are fundamentals. Honestly, I'm actually kind of excited to actually try that. Okay, so I won't go with any parameter. Let me end this with a semicolon. Inside of my main function, let me go ahead and invoke my welcome hero function, ending with a semicolon. That said, if I were to save the code and run the command, okay, it says welcome hero, prepare for battle. So let me copy that, get sensei/chatgpt here. Okay, now passing by reference. So let me go ahead and ask for that. Let me paste it, go with shift enter, it says save. Okay, this was kinda too easy, ... Can I get a harder question? That said, someone in my stream said me to try passing by reference functions ... Can we do that after we've mastered these ? Okay, let's see. Okay, let me just delete that. There we go. Of course, it was easy. You've been training, Vivek, but don't get cocky. Even a master can trip over a simple drill if they rush. That said, I see the glint in your eye. You want the next level, fine. Yes, pass by reference is coming, but only after you master these foundations. That means we grind parameters, return values, and clean function flow until they're second nature. Once that's logged, we make your functions actually manipulate variables directly, and that is when the real power kicks in. Next practice drill, intermediate level. Task, write a function called calculate total, okay, that takes 3 integer parameters, a, b, and c, returns their sum as an integer. Okay, in main function, ask the user for 3 numbers. Call the calculate total function with these parameters, okay, with these numbers. Excuse me, guys, store the return value in a total variable. Excuse me again, guys, and then print the total sum is x. Rules: function must have declaration above the main function, must return a value, not print inside the function. Printing must happen only in the main function. This will test your ability to handle multiple parameters and return values correctly. Perfect prep for pass by reference next. Okay, let me get sensei/chatgpt here. Okay, let's read the instructions. Let me start off by deleting everything and including a pair of ankle braces. Let me go with IO stream. And then next up, write a function called calculate total. before I write that function, honestly, I could define my calculate total function first. That takes 3 integers. So is it a void function? It returns their sum as an integer, so I don't think it's going to be a void. So I'll go with integer of calculate total function. There we go. And then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Add a pair of curly braces. Next up, it takes 3 integers as parameters, so I could go with something like integer a, b, and c. There we go. Okay, okay, we can't do that. I thought that since I could do this like with regular variables, I could do that with parameters as well. Never mind, guys. Okay, takes 3 integer parameters, returns their sum. Okay, so let me go ahead and return a plus b plus c, ending with a semicolon. And then let me go ahead and go down, typecast my main function. Honestly, before I add a main function, let me go ahead and declare my integer of calculate total function, with a parameter of, let's say, integer a, integer b, and integer c. Okay, perfect. Next up, I'll end that with a semicolon. This is going to be an integer. Okay, now let me go ahead and add a main function. So I could go with something like integer main with a pair of parentheses and then a semicolon. Why does it show a... Okay, there we go. I was like, why does it show a yellow underline? Okay, that said, ask the user for 3 numbers inside of my main function. So I'll go with 3 numbers. Before that, I'll go with integer a, b, and c, ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I'll say something like enter your first number. Okay, enter your first number. I'll end that with a semicolon and then go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my variable a. And then let's go with another standard console output with an insertion operator. Let me say something like enter your second number. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon as well. That said, let me go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my variable b. Lastly, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I'll say something like enter your third number, ending with a semicolon. And then a standard console input with an extraction operator. This is going to be my variable c. Howdy, Anita. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's said. Ask the user for 3 numbers, call the calculate total function. With these numbers, store the return value in a total variable. Okay, store the return value in a total variable. Okay, so let me go ahead and create an integer of total variable. I'll set that equal to something. Honestly, since we're calculating numbers, I could change this to be a double. So let me go with a double, because it could be a decimal point number as well, or like a floating point number. Okay, let's go with double, and lastly a double here as well. Okay, honestly, let me change this to be a double as well. And when I invoke my integer calculate total method or function, let me go with a double. Okay, and let me copy that and paste it here to avoid a spelling mistake. Control V, there we go. Honestly, why does it show those 3 tiny dots there? Okay, so let's go with a double total. Let me go ahead and include and invoke my calculate function. Howdy, God bless. I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, next up, this is gonna be my variable a. The parameters are gonna be a, b, and c. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add another standard console output with an insertion operator and say something like your total is another insertion operator of my total variable with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let me go ahead and return 0. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, 0% language, 100% understanding. Oh, guys, did I mess up somewhere? Let's see. Okay, so I returned A, B, and C. That is a double. Oh, I think because these are integers. Let's go with double. There we go. Now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. Okay, I think something is messed up. I go with double total, my calculate totals parameter here. Is it because I invoked it wrong, or like I declared my function incorrectly? Because if I zoom in, I do see like 3 tiny dots here. Does that mean something? Change the declaration. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go, guys. I should pay more attention on these things. Okay, let's go with double, double, and double. Okay, perfect. If audit control has to save the code and run the command, this time it should show something perfect. Okay, so my first number is going to be 35, second number is going to be 66, fourth number is going to be 89. Your total is 190. Yeah, perfect. Let's go with the control A, control C, copy that, get C slash chat GPT here. Okay, and run the command. Let me go ahead and show something perfect. Mute that. Paste it here, go with shift and use endline. Honestly, I should use that. I actually use that a lot, but most of you actually say me to use / new line because like that's more easier to write. But some of you guys say endl, it actually flushes my entire code, so I think I should go with that. Just say it works ... Although I did get some help from my chat, so okay, let's see. Okay, I think this loaded makes sense there. I see like a little help from your chat, huh? Fine, let it slide this time, but only because you actually wrote it mostly correct. Look at this, you declared the function above the main function, okay? You declared the function above main, you use parameters, you return the values, you print it only in the main function. That is exactly how a proper C++ function should behave. You've leveled up here, soldier. Only tiny critique, your task asked for integers, but you use double, not a big deal. Just make sure to follow these specifications exactly next time. Discipline matters. Now you've mastered void functions, functions with parameters, functions that returns values. Okay. Next step, the real power, pass by reference, where your function can modify variables directly, not just return them. Okay, either are fine most of the time, unless you're doing low-level stuff. Ooh, I see. Okay, do you want me to give you a hard instructional question on pass and reference next? We say, yes, let's say, although before I get a question, can you explain me how the pass and reference works, question mark? Okay, let's see. Finally, you're ready to wield real power, Vivek. Listen closely. Pass by reference is where your function doesn't get a copy of the data, it gets a direct link to the original variable. That means if the function changes it, the original variable changes itself. The original variable itself changes. Oh, I see, okay. No more copying, no more waiting. The function is directly in your program veins. Pass by value versus pass by reference. Pass by value, what we've done so far, function gets a copy of the variable. Any changes inside the function do not affect the original variable. Example, y double integer x equals to x multiplied by 2 only changes local copy. Integer main, integer a5, double a. Standard console output, a still 5. Pass by reference, function gets the actual variable, not a copy. Changes inside the function modify the original variable. Use the and symbol in the parameter list. Y double integer and x. Okay, honestly, I did learn, like when I was working with vectors on C++, I did work with this and function. So basically, without the and function, we work with a copy. That said, with the and logical operator, we do work with, we like manipulate or like change the actual vector. Okay, that makes sense. A reference is just an alias to a variable. Oh, I see. Okay, that actually makes sense. Okay, integer main function, why it matters, save memory, no copying large data structures, let's function modify multiple variables without returning them, essential for real-world C++ programming and game dev. Now imagine in your game you pass the player's health by reference. The attack function can directly reduce the health, no return value needed. It's clean, efficient, and powerful, the kind of move that will make your stream scream. Okay, if you're ready, I can give you a harder question. Okay, let me say, yes, let's say, Haring Mohammed, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, this is the, that's the part. I want you to see, Vivek. Pass by reference, instructional based question, task, write a function called heal player that takes one integer parameter by reference called health, adds 52 health, returns nothing, void. In the main function, ask the user for the player's current health, call player and pass the health variable by reference, print player's health after healing is x. Okay, where x is the modified value of the original variable. Rules: function must modify the original variable, not a copy. Function must not return any value. Use and in the parameter to pass by reference. Declare the function above the main function. Okay, this will test whether you truly understand pass by reference. No more hiding behind return values. Okay, let me get sensei/ChatGPT there. That said, let me go with the control A and delete everything and start off by including IO stream. Guys, what website is this? Honestly, it's ChatGPT. So I'll go with include a pair of ankle braces. I'll go with IO stream. Okay, next up, let's see. Okay, so write a function called healPlayer. So let me go ahead and create a function called healPlayer. So go with healPlayer. Okay, my healPlayer function takes one integer parameter by reference called health. So I'll go with something like integer and health. So and health. There we go. Next up, let me go with a pair of curly braces and then adds 50 to the health. So adds 50 to the health. Okay, takes one integer parameter by reference called health, adds 50 to the health. So I could go ahead and honestly, since I'm not returning anything, returns nothing void. So I could go with something like health plus equals to 50. Okay, next up, did I spell my parameter correct? Let me copy that, paste it here. Oh, I forgot the L. There we go. Health plus equals to 50. And then let me go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with integer main, pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces, and return 0 as a placeholder for now. Above my main function, let me go ahead and define my integer healPlayer function. So I'll go with healPlayer. There we go. Okay, then I'll add a parameter of integer reference health. There we go. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon. And then inside of my main function, ask the user for the player's current health. So, should I create a health variable? Okay, I guess I could create a health variable. So I could go with something like integer of health. So let me go with integer health, which equals to, I don't know, maybe 75, or actually I go with something like 40. Okay, ending with a semicolon. And then let me go ahead, actually player's current health. So I could end that with a semicolon and then add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Void heal player, not integer but void. Oh yeah, I forgot that actually. Since I'm not returning anything, I can use void because you use void when you don't return anything. That's let me change this to void as well, because I should start paying more attention on these stuffs. Okay, so standard console output, I'll say something like how much okay, so how much health does the player have? Question mark. Okay, how much health does the player have? I'll end that with a semicolon, and then let me go ahead and add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my health variable. There we go. I'll end that with a semicolon as well. Next up, let me go ahead and invoke my health function. So call the health, invoke the health player function and pass the health variable by reference. Okay, so let me go ahead and honestly create an integer of current health variable. Okay, this is going to be the player's current health after he heals HP. I'll go with something like invoke my heal player function. The parameter is going to be my health variable, so I'll go with and health. Okay, perfect. This is going to be an integer. There we go. Did I not invoke it correctly? Okay, integer current health equals to heal player. Okay, I think I should just go with integer health or just my health variable. Okay, heal player. I did add a semicolon. Am I missing something? Wait, hold up. Let me check if I'm missing something. So I added a void here. What happens if I don't add this variable here? Okay, that does work. This is gonna add 50 HP to my player's health. And then I gotta print my health again. So let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, okay, player healed, exclamation. I'll go with an insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. And then let's add another console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be saying something like current health. Okay, my player's current health is going to be my health variable with an insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. There we go. Okay, so player's current health. Okay, if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see what I get. Okay, let's see. It says, how much health does your player have? I have something like 40 HP. Player healed, current health 90 HP. Okay, perfect. Let's go to Control A, Control C, copy that, get sensei/chatgp here. Let me go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter. Actually, just send it. Then maybe hydrate my lips. Okay, yes, Vivek, this looks perfect. Look at this, you declare the function above the main function, you use pass by reference with integer health, the function modifies the original variable directly, you don't return anything used void correctly, main function prints the updated health. Okay, this is how a true programmer leverages pass by reference, your stream is seeing real magic right now. That said, because you nailed this battle, here's your reward quote. The more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in battle. Richard Marcinko, is that how you pronounce the name? Okay, next level. The sketch of programming. Honestly, that does sound pretty fun. Okay, next level. We can combine parameters, return value, and pass by reference in one function, real world style, like player stats being calculated, modified, and returned at once. Okay, I do want to use vectors as well. So let me say something like, let's say, can I get a question that consists of, let's see, of vector and all its functions, if slash else clause, what else? All the loops, and also functions. Let's see, interesting fact in real-world projects, pointers can be dangerous and can have serious issues, can have security issues. Honestly, I've never heard of that. Now we're entering the real war zone, Vivek. You're asking for a full-on C++ combat scenario, vectors, functions, loops, conditional statements. Basically a mini battle simulator. Perfect, your stream will love this. Because it looks like a real game logic in action. Task mini inventory system. You need to write a program that uses a vector of strings to store items in the player's inventory, implements a function called add_item or like add item. Thank God he's not using pointers. Honestly, guys, many of you guys did say me or like recommend me to learn pointers. If it's not that, like if you don't use it in actual projects, I'll still honestly like learn about pointers, but I won't be using it. I just want to know what it's about though. Okay, you need to write a program that uses a vector of strings to store items that the player's inventory. In the player's inventory, implements a function called add_item that takes the inventory vector by reference, asks the user for an item to add, adds the item to the vector, implements a function called remove_item that takes the inventory's vector by reference. Okay, asks the user which item to remove by name, removes it if it exists, otherwise prints a message. Implements a function called display_inventory that takes the inventory's vector by value or reference, prints all items in the inventory. Integer main, use a loop. Okay, use a loop to continuously ask the user what they want to do. Okay, add item, remove item, display item, quit. Okay, use if/else to decide which function to call, loop until the user chooses to quit. Bonus requirements for stream hype. Validate input. If the user tries to remove an item not in the inventory, print this item was not in the inventory. After each question, show the updated inventory. This question forces you to combine everything you've learned: vectors plus pushback plus erase, loops, for loops, while loops. Okay, guys, this question is gonna be kind of fun. That's a limited water. Okay, yes, but you must master pointers in order to become C++ programmer. Yeah, that's right. I had to learn them They're a pain in the but when handling dangling pointers. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Let me start off by going with Control A, deleting the whole code, and start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And since I am going to be working with vectors as well, let me go ahead and include vectors as well. So I'll go with include a pair of ankle braces, vectors. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and read the instructions. So you need to write a program that uses a vector of strings to store the items in the player's inventory. So let me go ahead and create a main function. I have a pair of curly braces. And then, did I spell vectors correct? Okay, this should be vector. There we go. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create a standard vector with a pair of ankle braces that only consists of standard strings. Okay, and this vector is going to be called standard string. There we go. My vector is going to be called inventory. I'll end that with a semicolon. Yes, there was once a dangling pointer left in the Firefox browser, and hackers exploited that pointer to get the internal credentials. Did I pronounce it? Or credentials? I see. Okay, let's see. Uses a vector of strings to store items in the player's inventory. Uses a vector of strings. Implements a function. Okay, so let me go ahead and return 0. Although here's a question. It says uses a vector of strings to store items in the player's inventory. Does that mean I need to pre-add items, or like I think my user needs to add the items? So let me go ahead and create the second function. Create a function called add items. So let me go ahead. Okay, since it doesn't return anything, takes the inventory's vector by reference, asks the user for an item to add, adds the items. So I could honestly go with a void. Okay, I could go with a void function of add item since I'm not like adding anything in it. So let's go with void add items. And then a pair of curly braces. I want to add something. So takes the inventory's vector by reference. So I need to take my vector by reference. In that case, should I like get my vector outside my main function? I think that's what I should do. Like a global vector. Okay, there we go. So I have a global vector. Next up, takes the vector by reference, asks the user for an item to add, adds that item to the vector. You can pre-add items or not, it's your choice. Manisha, that does make sense. Okay, so how do I take the vector by its reference? Maybe I use a for loop. Honestly, I don't think I should use a for loop. Okay, let me actually, let's see. I could create a few variables, so does my add item need a parameter? Okay, let me go ahead and add a parameter of something like item. So I'll go with a standard string. There we go, standard string of item. Go use while true, that's your game loop. Honestly, yeah, I used to use like, I did like, when I was making my game in Python for like my Python for 100 days, I just create like a is underscore running boolean variable which was set to true, and then I added like while is running or stuff like that. Although I don't know how to do that in C++ though. Okay, so void add items. So now I do want to add an item inside of my inventory. Okay, I think the add item stuff goes inside. Okay, so let me go with something like my items is parameter. I'll set, or my item parameter, I'll set that equal to okay, so whenever the user adds an item here, I want to ask the user should I ask the user inside of my void function or inside of my add items function or inside of my main function? He's not using a graphics library yet, so there's no need. Okay, so add items. So it says takes the inventory's vector by reference, asks the user for an item to add. Okay, in that case, let me go with a standard string. I do have a standard string vector though of my items as parameter. Should this parameter, okay, let me actually copy that part, delete this from here, add that inside my function. There we go. Okay, and then this is going to be items, and then I go with a standard string of actually, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter a item. There we go. I'll end that with a semicolon, and then add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my items as variable, and I'll end that with a semicolon as well. So I ask the user for an item. Okay, since it is a void function, I'm directly going to ask the user. And once I ask the user for an item, I want to append that or insert that inside of my inventory. So I could go with something like my inventory is vector dot the push underscore back function. I want to push back my items as variable. It's a convention in programming. You have all functions above the main function. Oh, so do I add it above my main function? Because that, okay, that would, like, if I have my functions above my main function, that would help with my declarations. Like, I wouldn't have to, like, declare a function. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this here. Okay, the declaration are defined, but the question tells him to create the game loop. Oh, really? Huh. Okay, I see. So I push back an item inside of my inventory. Next up, adds that item to the vector. Ask the user and adds it to the vector. Okay, I think this was all I needed for my add items function. Next up, let me go ahead and create another function. So I'll go with something like void remove item. So I could go with something like my remove item function. Okay, with a pair of curly braces, and then let's add a standard string called remove item. Okay, honestly, I could change this to add item, or I could just go with like remove. Okay, I could honestly change these to be add. That would like make it much more easier to read. There we go. Generally, functions are defined in some header file in C, then is declared in order file by importing that. But after CPP or C++ implemented object-oriented programming, we can use interfaces instead of that. Oh, that actually sounds so cool. Okay, so I go with a standard integer called remove. And guys, is my stream lagging? Okay, I think it is. Let me actually restart my OBS real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Alrighty, mic testing. Okay, this should honestly help with my lag. I'm pretty sure it should. That's it. Let me check. Can you guys hear me? Is it even like helping with my lag? Okay, I don't think it is. Okay, never mind, it did. Okay, perfect. Next up, let me go ahead and add a standard console output. So I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something. You can create a function prototype to keep it below main. Like a function which consists of, like for example, a function that consists of all these functions. Is that what you meant? Okay, so let me go ahead and add a text that says something like enter a item or add a item. Let's change that to add a item. I could change this to something like remove a item, void remove item. Honestly, I feel like I did go with like void remove item. Why don't you use std as library? Do you mean like using std, if that made any sense? Honestly, the reason I don't use that or like do that is because in bigger projects, eventually it would cause like name conflicts. So it's a good practice not to use it. It will work, but we should follow conventions as it becomes easier if everyone follows the same conventions. Honestly, yeah. Okay, let me go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my remove function. I'll end that with a semicolon. And then I want to remove that from my inventory. So I could go with something like my inventory is vector dot the erase function. I want to erase my item. Okay, erase. Okay, so this is going to be my remove. I want to get the index of it. Where does inventory come from? Honestly, inventory is my vector that I created. Sup, how are you, Jazz? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, so I could go with my inventories vector. Inventory dot, let's say begin. Okay. Should I go with at? And this is going to be my remove functions. This thing. Okay, this does not make any sense. Instead, let me go with the begin function. This is going to be my remove. Does this make sense? I want to get the the index of my remove. although I can do that. To do that, should I like iterate over my remove? I can't do that though. Inventory.erase. How do I remove it? Show me one more time. Didn't the task tell you to pass the vector by reference? Vector by... Honestly, it did say. I think I passed the vector by reference. Wait. Is this what it... Okay, hold up. How do I like pass a vector by reference? Should I like change this variable to something like and? I'm not using a for loop here. Bro, why are you not trying to use namespace std? Honestly, the reason I don't use namespace std is because many of you guys did say me it is a bad practice to use it, because eventually in bigger projects using namespace std is gonna cause like naming conflicts, if that made any sense. Using a vector to remove elements is not a good idea. Using namespace std is bad practice. Hi everyone, what are we doing? Honestly, I'm trying to figure out on how to use vector, actually functions. That said, I do have a question. That was actually a good question. How do we like whatchamacallit, takes inventory vector by reference? How do we take a vector by reference? Let me ask that. It is a bad practice, yes. Okay, let me get sensei/chatgpt here. Let me paste it, go with shift enter and say, let's say this is what I did so far. That said, someone in my chat asked me, let's say to someone in my chat said me that you asked for vector by reference ... Although I don't know how to do that ... That's actually, yeah. Let me see. It's always better to pass parameters as const references and return self address instead of void. Oh, I see. Just use and for ref. You don't seem to pass vector at all. Huh. I see you, Vivek. Your code has spirit, but it's half baked right now. Let's break it down carefully. You're almost there, but there's a few critical problems. Vector by reference. Just ask him the question while you explain the situation. Okay, vectors by reference. Right now your functions add item and remove item don't take vector as parameters. They just use global inventory. That works, but is bad practice and won't scale. Instead, pass the vector's reference so the function can modify the original vector directly. So void item standard vectors, okay, and makes it pass by reference. No, pass by value function gets a copy. Changes won't stick. Actually stick. Fixing erase. This line is completely broken. Inventory.erase. Remove is a string, not an index. Yeah, honestly, I thought to get an index, I should like add an if statement to check if my remove variable is equal to the item inside of my vector. Do you know global variable and function scope variables are stored in different memory locations? Honestly, yeah, I did like learn about scope resolution when I was learning Python. That said, few subscribers away from your goal, and I just subscribed to you. I appreciate you, Rosita. That means the world to me. Like different types of memory, Okay, remove is a string, not an index. You need to search for the item first, then erase it if it exists. Example, auto. I've honestly not heard of the auto function. Auto it standard find inventory.begin inventory.end remove if it is not equal to inventory.end inventory.erase it. Okay, else standard console output item not found in inventory. Standard console input limitation. If this user wants to add something like magic sword, standard console input add will only read magic. Honestly, yeah, for this we need the get line function, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there we go. Better standard console, actually standard get line, standard console output add to allow spaces. Okay, main loop. Eventually we put a while loop with a menu and if/else to call everything. If you want, I can rewrite the code correct plus vector. One subscriber away now. I appreciate you, Jake. Auto fetch the data type from our value fetches. I heard Claude is better for programming. Is there a reason for ChatGPT? honestly, I don't think there's like a reason for ChatGPT. I've just been using ChatGPT a lot for my actual college studying and like for studying in general. I feel like ChatGPT has taught me more than my teachers. So it's a bit sentimental if I say. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and ask since it's let's ChatGPT about the auto function. Let me copy that and say something like, let's say I've honestly never used the auto function. What does it do? Question mark. ChatGPT is best. That's what I was saying. ChatGPT is pretty good actually. I've been learning 6502 assembly recently. Uh, okay, let's see. It's so interesting to understand how everything works under the hood. A lot of abstraction and high-level languages like C++. Oh, I see. Are you studying for school or else? Honestly, for now, I'm not like I do go to college, but I don't take like programming courses yet. That said, I do have like a programming for 258 series going on, where my goal by the end of the series is to make a game in general which consists of AI logic in it. That's the reason I thought I'd start learning actually C++, because it's the best language for making games. That said, good, you're paying attention now. Listen closely, Vivek, because auto is one of those tiny weapons that can make life easier. If you wield it right, what auto does, auto tells the compiler to figure out the type of a variable automatically from whatever you assign it. Auto tells the compiler to figure out the type of a variable automatically from whatever you assign to it. Okay, instead of writing something like standard vector, standard string, iterator, it, okay, inventory.begin, you can just write auto it inventory.begin and the compiler knows it is a standard vector, standard string, iterator. Okay, why it matters? Less typing, especially for your type like iterator, maps, or complex templates. Cleaner code, your code looks readable and neat, safer, no mistakes in typing the exact type, example, and context. Okay, honestly, that makes sense because I've never used the algorithm, I've never included the algorithm library. Okay, so I go with integer main, auto. Okay, let me actually say something like, let's say, before I move on to work with functions again, can I get a actually, can we go through the auto function because I've never even used the algorithm library. Okay, let's see. Why using namespace std, please? Honestly, I never use namespace std. Think of iterators as pointers only. Oh, I see. Okay, the auto keyword. Auto is type deduction. The compiler looks at whatever value you're assigning and decides to type for you. Think of it like this. Instead of typing a huge scary type line like standard vector, standard string, iterator, it equals to inventory.begin, you just write auto it. And the compiler does all the work. You get less typing, cleaner code, and fewer mistakes with complicated types. It works with integers, doubles, iterators, pointers, and more. The algorithm library. This is where the real power kicks in. Algorithm is a toolbox of ready-made functions for things like searching, standard find, sorting, standard sort, counting, standard count, manipulating ranges, vectors, arrays, etc. Example, with standard find, we include IOStream, we include vectors, we include algorithm, okay? This is the library you need for find, integer main, okay, so we add the integer main, okay, and then we create a standard vector which only consists of strings called inventory. We add 3 items, sword, shield, and potion, and then we add a standard string of item variable which equals to potion. Auto it standard find inventory.begin, okay, inventory.end, item. Okay, I gotta copy and ask like what this line actually does. If our it variable is not equal to our inventories vector.the_end function, standard console output, okay, item found with an insertion operator of an asterisk it. What does the asterisk it mean? I gotta ask that as well. With another insertion operator of a new line, else that item was not found. Standard find searches a range begins, okay, searches a range begin the first and the last for your item. Oh, so beginning to the end. Okay, so I think I understand. So standard find. I want to find from my beginning of my vector all the way to the end of my function, to the end of my vector. I want to find the item. Okay, I see. Auto saves you from writing standard vector, standard string, iterator, it. Why combine them? Using auto with algorithm functions is pure gold. Vivek, iterators can get long and ugly, and also and auto cleans them up while still letting you use powerful functions like find, sort, count, remove, etc. Think of it like giving your function magic vision goggles. You don't need to know the exact type to grab or manipulate your data. If you want, we can do a mini exercise right now where you create a vector, search for an element using find, and auto print whether it's found or not. This will cement auto plus algorithm before we go back to inventory plus functions. Don't overuse auto as well. It's bad practice. Makes code difficult to read. Find line would basically return a pointer. Oh, in that case, instead of using auto, should I like just whatchamacallit, type standard vector, standard string iterator? It would that actually make sense? Is that like a good practice? Okay, let me say something like yes. Let's say. Okay, let's do a question. Okay, find line would basically return a pointer to the potion string, and asterisk is for differencing that pointer. No, auto is fine at that place. Honestly, because I honestly don't mind typing more. Like I could type standard vector, standard string, iterator, it. You can use auto for long types like that. Oh, I see. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this. Go with shift enter and say. Let's say I forgot to ask this question. ... What does this mean? The asterisk of it question mark. Let's see. Oh, finally, good question, Vivek. Pay attention. When you see asterisk it in C++, it's dereferencing an iterator. Think of it like this. What is an iterator? An iterator is like a point to an element in a container, vector, list, etc. It doesn't store the actual value. It points to the value. It points to where the value lives in memory. Standard vector, standard string, spells fire, ice, lightning, auto it, spells.begin points to fire. Okay, here it is not fire itself. It's a pointer to fire inside the vector. What asterisk it do? What does asterisk it do? The asterisk dereferences the iterator. It gives you the actual value that the iterator points to. Okay, prints fire. Without asterisk, you just have the iterator, which is like having a map to the treasure, but not the treasure itself. Okay, context with find. Auto it equals to standard find, spell.begin, spell.end. I want to find ice inside of my vector. Okay, if it is not equal to spells.end, okay, standard console output spell found with the dereferencing iterator, okay, in a new line. Standard find returns an iterator to the found element or end. If not found, asterisk it extracts the actual string from the vector so you can print or use it. Think of it as the pointer to the treasure chest, and the asterisk it is opening the chest and taking the treasure. I see, that actually makes so much sense now. A pointer is just a memory address. When you dereference it by using asterisk, you can get the value in the memory address. That actually makes sense. You can use auto for long types like that. Okay, I can now walk you through the full search code. Okay, let me actually do this instructional based question now. So it says create a vector of strings called spells with these values. Ask the user to enter spell to search. Okay, use std find and auto to search the spell in the vector. If found, print that. If not found, print that. Okay, let me get Sensei/ChatGPT here. You know, pointers, honestly, I've not gone through pointers yet because I did ask ChatGPT/Sensei to like create a whole roadmap for C++. Today was the day where I learned about functions, and then eventually I am going to be learning about pointers, structures, and even object-oriented programming. That said, I think I should start with pointers as well. Okay, so let me go with the controller, delete everything. Okay, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. So let me go ahead and add hashtag include IO stream. And since I am going to be using vectors as well, let me go ahead and include a pair of ankle braces, vector. And lastly, let me go ahead and include algorithms as well. How do you spell algorithms? Did I spell it wrong? How do you spell algorithm? Okay, it's spelled as Algorithm. Okay, so Algo RITHM. There we go, guys. I should actually memorize the spelling. That said, create a vector of strings called spells. So let me go ahead and typecast my main function. Without pointers, you won't understand this, won't I? Without pointers, you won't understand iterators. Honestly, in that case, I should start with pointers as well. Maybe next stream I'll go over pointers. That said, create a vector called standards. Create a vector of strings called spells. So let me go with a standard vector with a pair of ankle braces, which is going to be consisting of only standard string. This vector is going to be called spells. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then I'll set that equal to a few spells. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and add a few spells. So I need spells like fire, ice, lightning, earth, and wind. So let me go with something like fire. Okay, so I'll go with fire and then ice, earth, actually lightning, and then earth, and lastly wind. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let me change that to wind. Okay, and then let me go ahead and end my vector with a semicolon. That said, ask the user to enter a spell to search for. So I could go ahead and create a standard string variable as well, or should I go with it? Okay, so let me go ahead and create a standard string variable, which is going to be called something like it. There we go. Okay, next up, I think I gotta use the find function now. Use std find and auto to search for the spell in the vector. I love working with direct ports for keyboard I/O or keyboard input and output ports, and address and raw 86 assembly just to display user input. I'm totally going crazy. This is for PB or operating system. Petabyte OS. Honestly, it sounds pretty cool. Okay, that's let me go ahead and let's go with a standard find. Okay, so go with auto. So should I go with like auto it? Okay, so it says ask user to enter a spell for search. Before all this, I could go with something like ask. There we go. And then let me go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter a spell to search, or enter a spell for search. There we go. I'll end that with a semicolon, and then let me go ahead and add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my ask variable. Okay, perfect. If found, print spell found X. So use standard console output find. Auto declares a variable required a unique name. Okay, so it declares a variable. So this variable asks for search. So let me go ahead and create a auto variable of it. I honestly forgot how this goes. Let me actually get sensei/ChatGPT here. I just want to see like the practice code here, like the reference one. So I went with auto it, which equals to standard find. Okay, this was the part that I think I forgot. So auto it is going to be equal to my find function all the way from the start of my inventory at index 0 to the end of my inventory at index -1. I want to find my item, which I ask my user for. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so auto equals to, let's go with standard find. Okay, standard find. I want to search everything from the start of my inventory all the way till the end. So I'll go with my spells as inventory. So spells.the_begin function. This gives me access to the first element, which is at index 0, and then let's go with spells.the_end function. This gives me access to the last element inside of my inventory, and I want to look for let's say my ask variable. Okay, and then I end this with a semicolon. Next up, let's read the next instruction. If found, spell found X. If not found, print spell not found in your list. Okay, so after I go with the auto it, I might go with an if statement. So let's see, if a pair of parentheses, I could go with something like if my it variable is not equal to my ask variable. Okay, that does make sense. Let me zoom in a bit though. So if my it variable is not equal to my ask variable, I'm going to do something. Let me go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, can I do this? Not equal to? Or should it be like if my ask variable is not equal to my it? There we. I thought I could have used not it. Okay, what if I go with equals to equals to? That doesn't work either. Huh, I honestly thought I could use it. It's a pointer, not a value. Okay, it's a pointer, not a value. In that case, how would I like add it in the if statement? Auto it. Okay, I think I honestly should know about pointers too. Oh, dereference it. Okay, I forgot about the dereferencing. Okay, alright, I remember I need to use asterisk it to dereference it. So, okay, I should, how do I where do I dereference it? Put asterisk before it. Should I put it before this it? What, does this, like, would this be illegal? Okay, I don't think I can do this. I should add it somewhere down here, like in a new line. I should add like a new block of code. You have to give it a data type, right? Or am I mistaken? Honestly, I don't think I could tell. He's using autocompiler. Will deduce it by itself. I see. Okay, honestly, let me get Sensei slash ChatGPT here again. Okay, so let me scroll all the way up. This was the example code. Okay, so I did this part. If it's okay, so if my whatchamacallit, if my iterator is not equal to my inventory's end, okay, I dereference it is not equal to my inventory's end. Okay, I think I understand what this means. It means basically the it like goes over every single element inside of my vector to find a certain element that I'm looking for. And if my it is not equal to inventory.end means if my iterator found the variable before, actually found the string before it reached my inventory at index of -1 or like end, which is the last element inside of my vector, then I print this and I dereference it to get the value of my vector. Does that make any sense? Okay, I think I understand. I should learn about pointers as well. Do you know what the dot end is, like where it points to? Honestly, yeah, the dot end points to -1, which is the last element of my index. In the other hand, the dot begin points to the index 0, which is the first element of my vector. While using variable name, use it as index at asterisk it. Huh, okay, I think I see. So I'll go with an if statement. If a pair of parentheses, if my iterator end is not last element, it's more places at last element. I thought that end was the last. I thought I get the access to the last element of my vector if I go with end. I should actually ask it in that case. Okay, so if my it is not equal to, let's say, my inventory's vector, so inventory, don't have access to my inventory's function. Actually, spells. There we go, spells.end. I'm going to do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard console output. Standard console output with an insertion operator. I'm going to say something like item found. Actually, spell found. Spell found. Okay, exclamation. And then I'll go with a space with another insertion operator. Let me dereference my it. So I'll go with asterisk it. With another insertion operator of a /new line ending with a semicolon. So this dereferences my iterator. Honestly, after this, I might actually work with pointers. Because if I need to know pointers before the auto function, I might do that next stream. Okay, so else I'll go with a pair of curly braces and add something. Let's see. I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. You can use dot r begin to access last element, I guess. Oh, r begin does make sense. I'm assuming r begin is the same as reverse begin. Yes, you can use r begin or dot back also, I think. Honestly, I lost a sense of like after this question. Okay, let me say something like item not found exclamation with another insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. You can okay, next up let me go ahead and return 0. You can check if your dereferencing dot or asterisk it is inventory dot end because the iterator searches object by object until the object matches the string you gave to standard find. Okay, that did sound a little confusing, but actually I might ask that. Okay, so if I were to go with Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, so okay, enter a spell for search. I'll go with something like ice. Okay, spell found ice. Excuse me, guys. Next up, let's go with a spell that does not exist. If the iterator has went through all vectors, it will just return the end of the vector. Wait, does it? Wait, let me go with something like, I don't know, water. Okay, that item was not found. Okay, honestly, it returns the end. Let me not add an else clause. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, you should learn pointers and implement your own vector function. Honestly, I should have learned pointers first. Actually, my this stream was for just mastering functions. That said, pointers are important as well. I should go through them. Okay, standard console output. Okay, I see. Let's go with, what if I remove my if statement? Okay, let me remove this whole thing. And then let's go with the Control S. I want to see what happens if like my element does not exist inside of my vector. Spell found. Okay, although it doesn't give me my spell. Okay, I see. I think I understand. Okay, let me go with a Control C to copy. Explain functionality. Okay, hi again. How are you doing, RB Cooks? I appreciate you joining the stream. Explain functionality once again. Is it like functionality or like, okay, IDK if it's any different, but you can use standard endline instead of new line. Honestly, yeah, I think it is different because standard endline, it like flushes my entire whatchamacallit. I think it flushes my whole code or something. Let's go with standard endline. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and actually delete this part. Okay, let me go with the Control C to copy, get sensei slash ChatGPT. Endline flushes the stream, so might be slightly slower than end. Oh, I see. Okay, so let me go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say sensei. I feel like I should not work with this topic this stream because people from my chat said me to learn pointers first. That said, can we move on back to functions question mark? Yeah, let's go on with some functions. Endline flushes IO, so if I remember correctly, standard endline clears all the buffer and counts that's loosely programmed. Oh, I see. Yeah, not really useful in bigger projects. You should use logging libraries. Honestly, I should like have a separate stream for like learning all these separate libraries. That's it. Good. That's strategic thinking. That's strategic thinking, Vivek. You recognize the auto and iterators brush right up against pointers, and your chat is right. Understanding pointers will make it crystal clear later. But for now, yes, let's return to the battlefield of functions, the heart of clean modular code. Before we move on forward, you've already mastered simple functions, functions with parameters, functions that return values passed by reference. Now we step into multifunction designing. Honestly, let me say something like, let's say I didn't master pass by reference functions yet dot dot dot. Okay, let's see. What, you dare say that to me, Vivek? You think you can move forward without mastering pass by reference? Unacceptable. Sit yourself down, grab your keyboard, and prepare your mind. We're going to fix that right now. Listen carefully, disciple. When you pass by value, a copy of the value is sent to the function, so the variable you do inside the function doesn't change the original value. Okay, but when you pass by reference, you send the actual variable itself, like handing someone your real sword, not a wooden copy. If they scratch it, the original gets scratched. Okay, I think I see. So we go with a function, a void function called change value with a parameter which is integer of a reference number. This means pass by reference. Our number equals to 10, then we typecast our main function to be an integer. Integer x equals to 5. Okay. Change value, we invoke our function. Okay, x standard console output. The output is 10 right now. Okay, I think I see. Without the and, x would still be 5 after the function because it only sent a copy, but with the and, the function grabs the original memory address and changes the actual value. Now tell me, soldier, okay, do you understand why and changes the actual variable and not copy? If not, I'll drill it in your brains. Okay, let me say, Sensei, I think I understand in theory. I just need to practice more dot dot dot. Can I get a instructional based question mark? God, should I fix my typos? That's it. Let me maybe drink some coffee. Ask about pass by reference versus pass by value. Okay, search for function stack memory, program segment memory, and heap memory. Pass by reference, you send the address to the container or variable. Pass by value is not copying and creating a new variable. Oh, I see. Okay. Good theory. Good theory. Okay, good. Theory without practice is like a blade without an edge. Useless. You think you understand, huh? Let's see if that confidence survives this test. Here's your buggy code. I wanted an instructional based question. Okay, let's say I had a lot of typos. Can I get a instructional based question mark? Guys, sometimes apparently when I talk while typing, I cannot type properly. Okay, do we pronounce it as stitch or like TCH? So you want an instructional based question one, huh? Fine, but listen closely. Vivek, this isn't mercy, this is training. Here's your instructional based challenge. Follow it exactly. Task: write a program that has one function called increase health. It should take a player's health integer as a reference parameter inside the function at 20 to the health. Integer main. In our main function, ask the user to enter the current health, then call the function to increase it by 20 and finally display the new health. Rules: you must use pass by reference, no global variables, no return values. You must name the function exactly increase health. You must print the result in this format: updated health, new health, health values. Okay, let me get some say/ChatGPT there. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and delete all my code and start off by including a pair of ankle braces. Let me include IO stream. Okay, perfect. Hi, Jacob. I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, write a program that has one function called increase health. So let me go ahead and create a void function called increase health. There we go. I'll go with a pair of curly braces, and then let's add a pair of curly braces. It should take a parameter. It should take a player's health integer as a reference parameter. So the parameter could be something like integer of my reference health. Okay, there we go. That's my player's health. That said, inside of my function, add 20 to the health. So I could go with my health parameter plus equals to 20. Okay, in the main function, ask the user to enter their current health. So I gotta add a main function now. So under my void function, let me go ahead and typecast my main function. Okay, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, in the main function, ask the user to enter their current health. So I could go ahead and create a variable integer of current health. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter your current health. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon, and then let me go ahead and add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my current health variable, ending with a semicolon. That said, then call the function to increase it by 20 and finally display the new health. Okay, health plus equals to 20. Okay, so my current health is my health. So let me go ahead and invoke my increase health function. The parameter is gonna be my current health variable. Okay, ending with a semicolon. And then let me go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something. Okay, honestly, before I insert my new health, I think I should add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Actually, I don't think I need to go with a new line. Okay. Should I go with a new line? I have a question. My brother, who is currently in management program, wanted to know if he can learn from the basics to advance of computer science knowledge like proper CS student via video. Honestly, I wouldn't rely much on my on my videos because I am currently learning about C++. That said, the basics are actually almost the same in all programming languages. One good thing about my streams, I think, is like because I go through a lot of practice questions. So like practice questions could help. That said, guys, I would recommend looking on better YouTubers or like practicing different questions. Okay, let's see. So I'll go with a standard console output that's gonna say something like updated health. So I'll go with something like updated health. One tip, you should create variable like this integer current health. Oh, one one tip, you should create variables like this integer current health. Oh, with a pair of curly braces. Does that make a difference if I add a pair of curly braces here? Okay, I could like try that. Okay, let's go with updated health. So updated health with an insertion operator. This is gonna be my let's see, my current health variable. Okay, so I'll go with my current health variable. Okay, perfect. With another insertion operator of a standard end line. Ask GPT about it. Honestly, I can like ask that after this question. Okay, lastly, let me go ahead and return 0. So let me go ahead and return 0. Ending with a semicolon. So I added my function, invoked it, and did something. If I would hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see, enter current health. I'll go with something like 40 HP. Updated health 60 HP. Okay, perfect. Let's go with a Ctrl A, Ctrl C, copy that. Get sensei/chatgpt here. There we go. And I do have a question, so let me go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say, Sensei, I have a quick question that someone from my stream asked me to ask you, ... They said that, let's see, I should add a pair of curly braces after creating a variable like integer name pair of curly braces ... Does that make a difference, or like what does it do? Question mark. Let's see. Yeah, you should use a pair of curly braces for initializing primitive variables and structures. Oh, I see. Okay, excellent question, Vivek. You used pass by reference perfectly. No returns, no globals, clean execution. That's how a warrior codes. Now about that pair of curly braces after a variable. Listen up. When you write something like this, integer health, this is called value initialization. Guys, did my stream start laggy again? Hold up, guys. Let me restart my OBS again, I guess. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, I think this should help. Okay, did this help the lag? Okay, pretty sure it did. Okay, that's called value initialization, introduced in modern C++. Here's what it does compared to other styles. Syntax, example, meaning. Integer health, no braces, leaves the variable uninitialized, contains garbage data until you assign something. Integer health equals to 0. Copy initializes health 0. And guys, am I unmuted? Okay, perfect. Alright, integer health value initializes automatically sets it to 0 for built-in types. Oh, I see. Copy initializes health to 0. Direct initialization health to 0. Value initializes automatically sets it to 0 for built-in types. Okay, so this integer current health means the same as integer current health equals to 0. Oh, I see. Okay. But the pair of curly braces is a safer and modern C++ approved. It prevents unintentional narrowing, like accidentally converting double to integer. It guarantees a clean, predictable, smart value. So when your chat told you that you were actually right using a pair of curly braces, it's a good habit, especially when you're writing a big system or games when uninitialized memory can cause chaos. Now tell me, Vig, do you want next practice question to involve multiple reference parameters or the one that mixes if/else logic with a reference function? Okay, can I get one with if/else question mark? Do you know typecasting? Honestly, I've actually learned typecasting in Python. That was like the first thing that I did learn, like after print statements. Let's see. First, when I was learning Python, I went through print statements, variable, user input, and then typecasting. I feel like it's the same. Is it the same like in C++? Because like I go with integer main, I typecast my main function to be an integer. Integer, my variable name, I typecast my variable to be an integer. Is that what typecasting means? Okay, good. That's the part I want to see. No more simple headline spells. This time, you'll be making a decision based on system using if/else and pass by reference together. Your task warrior, write a program that does the following. Ask the user for their player's health. Yeah, kind of. Oh, I see. Passes the health by reference to a function called apply damage. Inside the function, ask the user how much damage the enemy dealt subtracted from the player's health. If the player's health is less than or equal to 0, print you died. Else if it's less than or equal to 30, print low health, find a potion. Otherwise print you're still strong warrior. Bonus challenge, if the player dies, health is less than or equal to 0, set their health to exactly 0, not negative. That means you need to check and adjust it manually. Now go on, write this code. Okay, let me get some tasteless chat GPT here. And maybe drink some coffee as well. Okay, let me start off by going with Control A, deleting everything, and then including a pair of ankle braces. Let me go with IO stream. Next up, what else do I need? Okay, so write a program that does the following. Asks the user for their player's health. So let me go ahead and let's see. Okay, passes the health by reference to a function called apply damage. So let me go ahead and create a void function called apply damage. There we go. I'll go with a pair of curly braces, actually a pair of parentheses, and then curly braces. Do I want to add a parameter here? Let's see. Inside the function, ask the user how much damage the enemy dealt subtracted from the player's health. So I think I might go with okay, I wouldn't want to go with reference because let's see, I wouldn't want to go with a reference variable. Hey guys, give me a sec. Okay, let's see. Pass that health by reference to a function called apply damage inside the function. Ask the user how much damage the enemy dealt. Search for size of pointers. Yeah, guess what size of pointer is and what it depends on. You know, size of integer, double, float, etc. I see. Integer inside the function. Huh, okay, wait, that was actually kind of confusing. I think I understood, but it kind of slipped me. Okay, so I go with void apply damage. I don't think I need a parameter just yet, or do I need a parameter? So my player's current health is going to be my parameter. So let's go with something like and health. And health. There we go. And then let's see. Actually, add integer health. Okay, let me go with integer health. Okay, there we go. Apply damage. Next up, I want to subtract my integer health with my damage. So passes the health. So this is apply damage. So I might not need my health variable. Okay, so I want my damage. So I could change this parameter to be something like damage. Write a simple fizzbuzz function, but using dictionary for divisibility with 2, 5, and 7, and print fizz, buzz, and muzz respectively. Honestly, I did try that when I was like working with vectors and like if/else statements. I went through like a lot of fizzbuzz questions. Okay, let me change this to damage. Okay, there we go. That's damage. So this is going to be a pair of actually a pair of parentheses, and means it's a reference to the variable, right? Honestly, I thought that the and is a reference for like vectors. Honestly, I should ask if it's for variables as well, because if you use and, it changes the actual vector. Although if I use and for a variable, it should change the the actual variable itself. Okay, that does make sense. Okay, I think I should use and here. Pass that health by reference to a function called apply damage. Okay, ask the user for health. Okay, ask the user how much damage the enemy dealt, subtracted from the player's health. How much damage did the enemy deal? Okay, so maybe inside of my function, let me go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, always have your parameters as constants if you don't want to change it. If you really want to change it, then return the changed value. Oh, I see. And passes the variable address and multiply, and asterisk is used to read the value at that location. I see. Okay, so I don't think I'll go with a parameter in here. Instead, let me add a parameter inside of my function, so my apply damage function. Let me go with an integer of damage parameter. There we go. Which is equal to a pair of curly braces. Okay, perfect. And then I go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like how much damage did the enemy deal? Question mark. Okay, this asks how much damage did the enemy deal. Then let's go with the pair of semicolon. Actually, let me add a semicolon. And then add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my damage variable. So basically, we're using health as an output variable, right? I'm asking because I don't know much about pointers myself. Honestly, I could relate. I don't know much about pointers myself either. So basically, we're using health as an output variable. Honestly, I think that we're using health as an output variable, although I will add like a health variable inside of my main function. Right now, I'm adding the details for my apply damage function. So how much damage do you want to enter? That's my damage variable. Okay, if the player's health is less than or equal to 0, print you died. Depending on how you're using, you might want to take the health variable by reference and change that global health variable. Honestly, I could actually create a global health variable, but like someone said me, it's like a bad practice to have that. That said, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, a pair of curly braces. Okay, and then let me return 0. Okay, so firstly, I gotta ask for my player's health. So I don't know, I could actually add a and reference here. So let's go with and health. Okay, I gotta subtract, so this is going to be integer. That's integer of health. That's the damage. So let me go ahead and do something. So for my damage, I could go with my health variable, actually health parameter, minus equals to my damage variable. Global variables are the variables which is inside the main function. Wait, global. Okay, if global variables are the variables inside of my main function, what are the variables called that are like outside of all my functions? Because I remember when I was like learning Python scope resolution, I heard that variables inside of our functions are called like enclosed variables, and like variables like outside of our function are called whatchamacallit, global variables. Okay, I think I should like ask that as well. All variables have memory address, and you can pass that memory address by referencing a function, not to modify the value. No, not that. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Inside of my integer main function, I gotta ask the player for their health. So I could go with an integer of health variable, which equals to a pair of curly braces ending with a semicolon. And then let me add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Inside main is not global. Oh, global variables as the variables which is inside the main function. It stores in stack only. Oh, I see. I was talking in the specific context, like in the context of what I said by global, I meant the variable inside main. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, that actually makes sense. Okay, so let me go with a standard console output. Let's say something like, how much health do you have? Question mark. Okay, let me actually, honestly, I could go with something better that says something like, enter your current health. Okay, enter your current health. And let me go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my health variable. There we go, ending with a semicolon. My health is currently set to 0. Standard console input. Okay, let me end that with a semicolon as well. Okay, that said, let's add a if statement. If my player's health is less than or equal to 0, I print you died. Okay, so I have how much damage did the enemy deal. Okay, let me go ahead and invoke my apply damage function, or my apply damage whatchamacallit function. Okay, let me actually get my apply damage function above my main function, somewhere right here. There we go. Okay, apply damage. The parameter is gonna be, let me go to Control Z. Okay, the parameter is gonna be my health variable. Alright, and then I'll end that with a semicolon. That said, now I gotta add the if statements. This changes my player's health. Okay, let me go with a standard console output with an insertion. Actually, not a standard console output just yet. I'll go with an if statement. So let's go with if, a pair of parentheses. Okay, so if the player's health is less than or equal to 0, print you died. Okay, C/C++ don't initialize the value with 0 by default. You need to explicitly set it to that. I remember spending 10 plus minutes in GDB because of the error. Bro, integer a pair of curly braces at integer a equals to, okay, behaves the same for basic types, but for objects they can call different constructors and cause bugs. Oh, I see. Okay, in that case, should I like not have the equals to? Would that be the same? Okay, I think that would be the same. Okay, let's see. So if the player's health is less than or equal to 0, so let's go with my health variable. If my health variable is either less than or equal to 0, I'll go with a pair of curly braces and do something. Should we're using a pair of curly braces, no issue. You could have the if else in the apply damage function directly. Oh, could I? Honestly, I think actually I could. Let me copy that. Okay, let me get that inside of my apply damage function right here. Let me go ahead and paste that. Control V. There we go. So if my health parameter is less than or equal to 0, I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, let's see, you died. Let's go with you died exclamation. Okay, and I'll add another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Next up, let me go with an else if it's less than or equal to 30, print low health, find a potion. Let's go with an else if. Honestly, I could like write it here. Let me go with else if, a pair of parentheses, else if my health is less than or equal to 30, less than or equal to 30, I'll do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces. This is going to be my health. There we go. And then let me add a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like low health exclamation find a potion. There we go. And then I'll add another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. That says let's go with an else clause. So I'll go with else, a pair of curly braces, and do something. Okay, let me go ahead and print you're still strong warrior. Okay, so else if it's less than or equal. Otherwise print you're still strong warrior. Okay, let's go with something like you're still strong warrior. Maybe in a standard console output with an insertion operator, I'll say something like you're still strong warrior. There we go, with another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. That said, bonus challenge, if the player dies, health is less than or equal to 0, set the health to be exactly 0, not negative. So, I do that, and then my health variable is going to be equal to 0. Okay, perfect. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, I'm pretty sure this should work. Maybe I drink some coffee. Enter your current health. I don't know, I'll go with something like 100 HP. How much damage did they deal? They dealt something like maybe 86. Low health, find a potion. Okay, perfect. If you you also don't need the last else if you return in the if and else if statements. Typo in strong, by the way. Did I have a typo? Oh, guys, I should pay more attention on my typos. There we go. Or you can return the message and print it in the calling function itself. Honestly, I could actually try that, but I returned void here. Let me actually try that with the next question. Let me copy that, get sensei/chatgpt here. Where are you dereferencing the variable you're changing? Where am I dereferencing? So, okay, I reference a variable here. Do I need to dereference my variable when I change it? Should I go with something like asterisk health? Okay, I don't think that works. I'm actually impressed he's not missing semicolons and stuff. I used to make so many of them, especially when he has done Python first. Honestly, it was actually real hard to like, whatchamacallit, actually get used to these semicolons. No need to dereference. Oh, I see. Okay, let me go ahead and paste that. Send it. Okay, if you pass by reference, it's automatically dereferenced. Oh, I see. That actually makes sense. Slams hand on desk. Yes, Vivek, that's exactly how it's done. You pass the variable by reference, handled input, made conditional checks, and even remember to cap health at 0. Perfection. You didn't just write code, you wrote a survival script. Your logic flows cleanly, correct reference use, proper order of conditions, smart fix for negative health, no redundant statements, only tiny improvement. I'd add not an error, okay. Just polish, else if, okay. Just consistent capitalization plus pronunciations for style. Oh, I see. Okay, you've proven to understand pass by reference plus if/else deeply. Now tell me, soldier, do you want the next challenge to combine the loops, the system like repeated attacks, or shall we make it more function based, adding heal and armor, etc.? Okay, I think I'll go with function based. Let me say something. Can we go with function based question mark? Although I didn't learn about pointers or the algo library yet, so can it just have the content that I learned? Okay, look at you. Makes me want to pick C++ back up again. Honestly, you should actually try C++. Let me know how it was on my Discord server. What do you know now? Why are you still using void? I'm just learning for 6 days and I use main. Can you please tell me? Honestly, we use void. We use like void in our function name and we don't need to return something. But if we need to return something, then we could go with like integer and our function name. Okay, void means the function doesn't return anything. Or more precisely, void means unknown type. Oh, I see. Okay, good, very good. You're choosing control over chaos. No rushing into pointers or algorithms before your blade is sharp enough to cut through them. That's the mindset of a true warrior of code. Alright, listen carefully. This next instructional based challenge will test everything you've learned so far. But for about functions, if slash else, pass by reference, and logic flow. Instructional challenge, you're building a mini battle simulator between a hero and an enemy. You must create three functions: attack enemy, integer enemy health, integer damage, subtracts damage from enemy health, and then enemy actually heal hero. I'm assuming that's another function. Create three functions. Okay, this is a separate function. Integer hero health, integer heal amount, increase hero health, battle summary, integer hero health, integer enemy health, display both healths. Okay, values and declares who's winning. Okay, inside the main function, ask the user for the hero's starting health and the enemy starting health, then ask how much damage the hero deals and how much healing they receive. Use your functions in correct order to apply the actions. At the end, call battle summary to show who's stronger based on their remaining health. No loops, no pointers, no libraries beyond IO stream. Okay, let me get Sensei slash ChatGPT there. And honestly, guys, I'm starting to be hungry, so I can't read properly. Let me drink some, whatchamacallit, coffee. Okay, yes, you can make a function type void, but the function can't return anything. There's no such thing as no type. Okay, so let me start off by deleting everything and including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. Okay, next up, it says you're building a mini battle simulator between a hero and an enemy. Create. Already, mic testing, mic testing. Guys, my OBS apparently crashed. Okay, white pointers is address that pointers place in memory without knowing its type, literally unknown type. Thanks, bro, for giving me information. Okay, let's see. Let me read the instructions again. Let me go right here. Okay, create three functions: attack enemy. So let me go ahead and create a few functions. So the first function could be void attack enemy. So I'll go with attack enemy. There we go. Okay, the attack enemy function is going to be having two parameters. The first parameter is going to be an integer parameter of my enemy's health. So let's go with a reference enemy health parameter and then a damage parameter. So I'll go with integer damage. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces still and add return as a placeholder. I've seen people actually do this. Can't I add return as a placeholder? I thought people could return 0 as a place. Oh, it's a void function. I can't return anything. Okay, I guess I don't return anything in that case. Oh, God, I checked original message. I thought you were talking about void functions, not pointers. Make a game engine from scratch. When honestly, I'm really excited to start using game engines like Unity or Unreal. Okay, that said, I gotta create inside main function. Subtracts damage from enemy health. So my attack enemy function subtracts damage from my enemy health. So I'll go with my enemy health parameter minus equals to my damage parameter. I'll end that with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Next up, I gotta create a hero health. So let me go ahead and create another void function. This is gonna be called heal hero. So I'll go with heal hero function. My heal hero function will have two parameters. Whereas not making game engine from scratch, you can also type return. Oh, I don't need to type 0. Yeah, and it was a joke. Guys, I do want to try using like game engines. Let's end up drink some more coffee. He can make a Blin Fong model in a few months if he's dedicated. Guys, I feel like that sounds cool, so I guess I'll be dedicated. Okay, so let's go with integer at this is going to be my hero health. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add integer of heal amount. Okay, so I have two parameters. So this is going to be heal amount. Okay, perfect. And then let me go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. Google Blink Fong is cool. Honestly, that actually sounds pretty cool as well. Okay, increases hero's health. So I could go with something like my hero health parameter. Okay, this should be health. There we go. Excuse me, guys. I'll go with hero health plus equals to. Try making one display render engine. once it will be easiest. Honestly, I do want to try that as well. That sounds pretty fun. Make a triangle. Okay, actually, I didn't make a triangle like in my previous stream. Is it like using nested for loops? Because I did try that. Okay, that said, the reason people return zero is because returning zero means that the program didn't have any errors. Anything other than that means there was an error. The joke error 404 means no found. Make a triangle in Vulkan. Huh, in Vulkan. Is that like a game engine? Okay, let me change. Let me add heal amount. So let's go with heal amount. Ending with a semicolon. And then it says create another function with two more parameters of hero health and enemy health. So let me go ahead and add another void function called something like hero health. Okay, this is gonna have two parameters. The first is gonna be my hero health parameter. The second parameter is gonna be my enemy health parameter. And then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, let's see. Displays both health values and declare who's winning. Okay, displays both health values. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is gonna say something like current health. Okay, should I go with a few hyphens? Okay, maybe I'll go with 4 hyphens here and 4 hyphens there. Okay, next up, let's go with an insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Next up, let me go with a standard console output again with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like hero health. Okay, my hero health is gonna be my hero health parameter, so I'll go with an insertion operator of my hero health parameter. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. There we go. Okay, next up, let's go with my enemy health. So I'll add a standard console output. 404 doesn't mean not found. Anything starting from 4xx means server side error, and that last 4 means that ports were unable to receive correct frames or unable to extract correct payload. Okay, honestly, that does make sense, but I think I don't understand that. Vulkan is a low-level graphics API. Basically enables you to use your GPU. I see. Vulkan is a way to render stuff or something. I don't know much about it, but when he means render a triangle in GUI from scratch, I think at least. I'm used to 404 being a invalid repo in GitHub, so I thought that was. Oh, I see. Guys, I feel that's way too advanced for me to even read properly. Okay, let me go ahead and add enemy health. There we go. Okay, so my enemy health is gonna be my enemy health parameter. Let me go with enemy health. Right now, code you write runs on your CPU. Code can run other than things also like GPU. Honestly, I don't know, like codes could run through my graphics card. I mean, does GPU stand for like graphics card? Because it could be that my OBS crashes a lot because my mini PC CPU isn't strong, and like also because I use like VS Code. Does like VS Code require more CPU power than PyCharm? Because back when already mic testing, guys. Speaking of CPU being weak, my OBS crashed again. Okay, yes, GPU's inside graphics card. Oh, I see. Okay, let me get some Sensei's instruction questions again. So I display both my enemy's health and my hero's health and declare who's winning. Display both health and declare who's winning inside the main function. So let me go ahead and create a main function now. So I'll go with integer main parentheses. I don't know much, but I think IDEs use GPU for Intel license and stuff. Oh, I see. Okay, so let's go with integer main, a pair of curly braces. Okay, ask the user for the hero starting health and the enemy starting health. So let me go with something like an integer variable for something like hero health. So I could go with hero health. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add one for enemy health as well. Ending with a semicolon. Next up, let me add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something. Let me go ahead and insert something like enter hero's health. Okay, enter hero's beginning health. Okay, next up I'll end that with a semicolon and then go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my hero health variable. Okay, and then let's go with another standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to say something like enter enemy's beginning health. There we go. I'll end that with a semicolon as well. And then let's go with the standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my enemy health variable. There we go, ending with a semicolon. Maybe you should buy a video capture card if you have the money. It lets you screen record without using your CPU. I see. Honestly, I am like looking for a PC because right now I use a mini PC. Although once I get the PC, I'll definitely like make a video on me actually building it if I didn't mess it up. That said, you have to be smart with what you use CPU for. Oh, I see. For what you use. Okay. No Intel license works on CPU only. I see. Okay, that said, then ask how much damage the hero deals and how much healing they receive. Okay, so let's go with another standard console output. Honestly, I might go with another variable of something like hero damage. Okay, let me go with hero damage and something like hero heal. Okay, there we go. And then let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon. Next up, I'll add another standard console output. So let's go with standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like how much damage did the hero take? Question mark. I'll end that with a semicolon. Okay. Hero health, enemy health, hero heal. Let's go with something like hero damage. Okay, perfect. And then let me go ahead and add a standard console output. So let me go with std : console input with an extraction operator. Your subscriber counter. Is something wrong with it? Did it like glitch or something? Oh, it's fine. Guys, we finally hit our subscriber counter. Honestly, I should increase that next stream. I'll definitely increase the next stream. Although I do appreciate you guys so much for hitting it too. For like hitting my subscriber counter out. I've honestly never seen it be 101%. Hey buddy, which semester are you? Appreciated you keep going. Honestly, I'm still a freshman in college. That said, I haven't started programming courses yet. Although, let me go ahead and take the variable of my hero damage. Okay, this is the amount of damage my hero takes. And then lastly, let's go with the standard console input with an extraction operator. 101, yippee! If you have multiple variables which are like property of a single kind of thing, making structures better. Honestly, I do want to work with structures as well. That's it. I haven't started working with structures yet, although I do need to start it soon. Okay, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, ask the user how much damage he takes, ask the user how much healing they receive. So let me go with something like how much healing did the hero receive? Did the hero receive? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon and then add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my hero health variable. There we go. Okay, but for that you need to learn about structures. Yeah, true enough, structures would keep it neat. Honestly, yeah, I do like have a I forgot what was it called. Did I have the correct variable? Let me copy that and paste it here. Okay, I do have like a complete like roadmap for my C++, and that structures are coming pretty soon. Maybe next time I'll work with pointers and the stream after that I'll work with structures. Structures and classes are almost the same things in C++. I see. When did you start CPP? Honestly, let me check. It's actually my title when I started it. So you can learn it with object-oriented programming. Oh, I see. Okay, I start C++ exactly 18 days ago. So it's been like almost 3 weeks. Okay, next up, user function in the correct order to apply these actions. So that's beginning health, how much damage did it take? After giving my damage parameter, I'll go ahead and include my attack enemy parameter. Honestly, should it be attack enemy parameter? Then ask how much damage the hero deals. Okay, how much damage did the hero deal? Which damage did the hero deal? There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and invoke my attack enemy parameter. So I'll go with attack enemy. Okay, the parameters that I need is firstly gonna be my enemy's health. So let me copy my enemy health variable. Okay, that's his current health. And my hero damage parameter. Let me paste that as well. Actually, my hero damage variable. Ending with a semicolon. Next up, how much healing did the hero receive? The hero deals. Okay, then ask how much damage the hero deals and how much healing they receive. How much healing they receive. By they, does Sensei slash chat GPT mean how much healing did hero receive or like the enemy? Since the enemy took damage, I'm assuming how much damage the enemy received. You can use using namespace std instead of typing std every time. Honestly, many people did say me that, although the reason I don't use using namespace std is because I want to avoid like name conflicts. Because in bigger projects, many other libraries can have like console output, so using standard console output makes it more readable for the C++, if that made any sense. Okay, what's the market demand of CPP now compared to other languages? Honestly, I should look into those things. Okay, just as more demand programming. Okay, let's see. Let him be. What's wrong with his accent? Honestly, guys, many people do like say that I actually fake my accent, but I say them like it's almost impossible to fake your accent when you like talk for hours like without slipping up. That said, let's see. How much healing did the hero receive? Let's go with enemy. Let me change that to enemy. Demand should not be on languages, but on specializations. C++ has demand in legacy, robotics, and performance critical areas. Oh, and Unreal Engine too. That actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, let's go with my next function, which is hero health. Actually, heal hero. Okay, this should be for healing hero. How much healing did the hero receive? There we go. Okay. Honestly, I think I understand. So let me go with the heal hero function. Okay. What's it called? Heal hero health. That's hero's health. Heal hero. Okay, so that's the heal hero function. Let me add a few parameters. This is gonna be my hero's health. So let me copy that and paste it here. And let's see my heal hero variable. Okay, this is gonna be hero heal. There we go. Honestly, let me keep that uppercase H. Heal hero. Wait, that's my variable. Okay, let me change that to be uppercase H. Let me change that to uppercase H. And let me go with okay, let me change that to hero regen. Okay, so let me change this to something like hero regen. Or and change that to hero regen as well. There we go. And guys, I'm honestly starving so bad because I didn't eat before like starting to stream. Yeah, embedded systems do use more C, but a slightly higher level C++ is used. There aren't many languages with both low and high level features. Oh, I see. But C++ for embedded is pretty simple, like C with glasses. C and C++ are the same level languages? Oh, I see. Okay, so heal hero, hero health. I invoke my function, fill in the parameters. Okay, perfect. Lastly, let me go ahead and invoke my hero health parameter or something like a battle summary parameter. Actually function. So let me go ahead and invoke my battle summary function. So let me go with battle summary. There we go. So I need my hero's health and enemy's health. So let me go with my hero health variable and my enemy health variable. Okay, perfect. Ending with a semicolon. I think that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and return 0. If I were to save the code and run the command, how can I reach you out? Honestly, you guys could like join the Discord server. I do like see most mentions or like what you call it, comments there. I mean, sometimes like because after my streams, I usually work on my college stuff. But if I have time, I do like look at my Discord. That said, how is C more low level? Bro, it's 2:18 where I live AM. Honestly, you should actually head to bed. Honestly, probably after this question, I might wrap the stream as well because I do have an exam going for my college and I need to study for that. Oh, I thought procedural CPP and C are kind of the same fast, but if you use C++ as it's intended, then it actually is slower. I see. Okay, enter hero's health. I'll go with like 100 HP. Enter enemy's beginning health. I'll go with 100 HP. How much damage did the hero take? I'll go with something like 50. How much health, how much healing did the hero receive? I'll go with 25. Okay. So current health, hero's health is 125. Enemy's health is 50. Okay, there's some kind of enter enemy's beginning health. How much damage did the enemy receive? Okay, so let's go with enemy. And then how much healing did the enemy receive? Okay, and instead of hero's health, I'll go with enemy's health. I think that would make it much better. Let's go with enemy health. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, can I get your contact? Honestly, you could like DM me on Discord. So like, you get my Discord, you could like type exclamation Discord. I usually see most comments or like chats. Okay, let's go with like 100, 100. There we go. Actually, I ended it with a whatchamacallit, a slash. Let's go with 100, 100. How much damage did the enemy deal? Let's say the enemy dealt 50 damage. Okay, how much healing did the enemy receive? I'll go with 25 HP. There we go. Enemy's health is 75. Perfect. Let's go with the control Control C to copy that. I don't think he'll just give you his contact at Betas. You probably get his work email, or he'll tell you that on Discord. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. Okay, let me get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. I mean, stuff like template, meta programming, and context, they're used heavily in libraries. I see. Okay, let me get Sensei here. Let me base this, go with Shift Enter and say, Sensei, I feel like I understand functions, although I do need more practice. Okay, that said, I was actually planning to end the stream because I have a college exam and a lot of homework. That said, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers before I end the stream? Question mark. Okay, let's see. That's why our libraries are in C++. Oh, I see. Okay. So the mighty hero must retreat to face a different kind of battlefield, huh? College exams and homeworks, fair enough. Their enemies worth slaying too. To everyone watching this warrior stream, remember this: discipline isn't built when things are easy, it's forged when you keep going even when life throws fireballs your way. Okay, Vivek. Vivek may be injuring stream now. Vivek may be ending stream now, but he's not quitting. He's strategizing. When he returns to the coding arena, he'll come back sharper, deadlier, and ready to strike with precision. Now, go ace that exam. Hero, your sensei will be watching. And the next time you step into this dojo, there will be no mercy for laziness. Until then, train your mind, rest your body and your will, and keep your will unbroken. Oh my gosh, I can't read. End transmission. Okay, let me go to my main camera. There we go. Why are you using STD instead of STD at the top one line using namespace STD? Honestly, the reason I don't using namespace STD is because many of you guys did say me that it's like a bad practice, because like in bigger projects, not using standard console output can cause name conflicts. That said, to expire 3 kernel functions, it took 3.47 KB. Said I having Bilial, I appreciate you joining the stream. Why are you saying it? Okay, when you develop a game, you should use standard namespace container and don't use using namespace. Okay, that said, guys, this was honestly basically pretty much for the stream. I should have streamed longer. Maybe once my college is over, I will stream for longer. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like you have said. My algorithm sharing makes you smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on your top. And guys, once I actually get my actual PC, because I am looking for a PC, I will start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Honestly, Instagram and TikTok is still debatable because I need like more followers there. So if you guys do enjoy my content, you could like follow me there. The link is in the description. That said, also join the Discord, and I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.